Let me tell you something. Nobody's going to really tell you this because it's perhaps the greatest secret of all time. It's perhaps the most important thing that you need to know. And the funny thing is, because of how important it is, because of how widespread it is, it's no secret. It's only a secret so much as we keep it secret of ourselves, because we don't want to face our own realities or think about changing ourselves. This conspiracy involves ourselves. It doesn't involve some few select people. It is actually among the masses of the many people in this world, all across the world, not just in one part. So we're going to be talking about the greatest conspiracy, and I hope that you truly have an open mind to maybe think about your own participation in this. But before we get into what is this conspiracy, I'm going to ask you some questions on the screen. In fact, because if you look up the word conspiracy, you're going to get con-spirit, to breathe together. And certainly, if we all are in the same reality together, we already have a conspiracy, but maybe we don't realize it. Perhaps we all are thinking certain things and creating certain things, but we don't all realize that we're doing it. So one of us maybe recognizes it, another person maybe recognizes it, and soon it bursts. People start to realize a lie. And until that happens, people will be immersed in what they think is the truth, because that's what makes illusion. That's what makes a conspiracy ultimately dangerous, the fact that people don't see it as a conspiracy. So let us begin. The greatest conspiracy is statism. It is people who have come together claiming that they are authority, then convincing the masses that they have that authority, so to take from the masses for their own gain, i.e. through taxation, in the illusion that it's necessary for the gain of the masses, for the greater good, for their protection, for the necessity of life and order itself, so to do what the masses cannot do, for all things material, egoic, and psychopathic alike. Indeed, it is the conspiracy that gives rise to all conspiracies. It is that which gives people the power to do anything they want, with a system that continually supports such legitimacy, with little to no question. It is the attempt to make men God, to give them rights that nobody else has, to give them an exemption to morality. It is a conspiracy held so closely together by its fortunes based on illusions that those promoting the conspiracy fear to lose it, thus grappling to it time and time again, offering distractions to those wrapped in the symptoms of it. If anything happens, be it any other conspiracy, it merely is used to reinforce this conspiracy, because it is never questioned. With this ring of power, as Tolkien describes, it is the one to rule them all and corrupts all which it touches. Dare anyone seek to come close to the same conspiracy, be it holding office connected to government or being among the ranks of order followers, the new slave drivers and slave patrols of the slave masters come into fruition. The conspiracy was slavery. Then it was monarchy, and then it was democracy and republics. A marriage one cannot let go of, a trauma one cannot release from, an abuse or shadow one cannot face, an abandonment from what one may never know. Indoctrination, fear, and confusion make sure of this. The greater the illusion, the more fooling and hard to see the conspiracy. The struggles and cycles of the world continues to move on, while a steady flow of theft and coercion and moral legitimacy continues to move in. Over time, perverse society becomes as below like above, then democide and collapse occurs as the ignorant population lost sight of the last time, whilst still being controlled the whole time, if not only more than before, despite how improved they perceive to be among themselves. One evil to the next evil was conditioned. Lesser evil than before evil is allowed. Those who come close to questioning only become as part of the conspiracy, with those admiring the challenge part of it too. The only ones who can question it and not become part of it are those who speak directly of it, with no partaking in it. The only alternative to a statist is a voluntarist, for they are the only ones who know of this conspiracy. You may not know what voluntarism is. Well, it's quite simple. Most people live by it in their everyday lives. But because of the conspiracy present that they don't know about, they actually give it an exception only in politics. Because politics is that conspiracy, it is slavery, it is statism. These are all one and the same that can be historically, psychologically, and morally supported with logic. And if you disagree with that, I encourage that you first at least read some sort of material by Lysander Spooner, Larken Rose, Mark Passio, Etienne de la Bourse, because these figures will never be taught to you in history. They'll never be mainstream so long as this conspiracy continues to support the most evil in the world. And if you can get rid of this most evil conspiracy belief system, you can get rid of a lot of perhaps lesser evils that we see throughout the culture, society, and individual life. It really is empowering to see our own lies and what we trained ourselves into thinking. I interviewed people and they shared with me their experiences. I've created summits where I've talked to many people, doctors, law enforcement, veterans, and they share with me their experience of how they needed an awakening. We never ask for money, we never tell people to do anything. We simply are learning about ourselves and being willing to change ourselves. And this is the true path to freedom. This is the true path to evolution. We emerged past chattel slavery. Now we must realize that a voluntary government is possible. But that's not government, it's voluntarism. Thank you very much for watching. Go to theliberator.us. That's theliberator.us. Take care.